Shanice.
Hi, I'm Mas.
Hi, I'm Jia.
Hi, I'm Leah, and this is
ZULA ChickChats.
So today we'll be talking about suicide, and I know it's a serious topic. So just start off with sharing any personal experiences dealing with this issue, or have you had any friends being in this situation before?
Basically, when I was a cabin crew, your sleep cycle, like your rhythm is off. It's easier for you to get depression. So my flatmate, she had a friend, all of a sudden just sold everything that she owned. It was very strange because you only sell things if you're resigning. And she knew like this friend wasn't resigning, so she was like, why are you selling all your stuff? And then she realized that it was because she was planning to like commit suicide.
Did she do anything about it?
She did. She spoke to her friend, and her friend sort of came clean. It was a good thing she actually realized that she caught onto the signs.
Personally, I have suicidal tendencies, and this happened when I was a lot younger, around 14 years old. So there were times where like I stood at the edge of buildings and looked down at the floor and like really contemplated whether or not I should jump.
I had a personal experience. First day of school, and then there was a lot of anxiety, and I reached out to this friend for comfort, and then like, at my lowest point he used me. That was kind of the snapping point, so I told him like, you know what, I'm gonna kill myself. He didn't believe it. Because he didn't believe it, the more I wanted to do it.
For me, I know of friends who have gone through it. So one instance was actually last year my friend committed suicide. I think it's because of her ex-boyfriend or something like that. Then there was a fight. Then it triggered her. There was probably a build-up before that. And when I heard about it, I was just damn shocked because I didn't even know that something was going on because you couldn't see anything. So the next question then is, what do you do about the situation for you guys personally? What do you do to help like your friend, or if you saw someone who was in this situation?
When I was younger, I was quite obedient. Like my parents wanted me to quit badminton, and that was something that was a very huge part of my life, and I was really very upset when I had to do it. On top of that, I had my first relationship which ended, so I felt like I couldn't talk to anyone about it. So sometimes it made me really question whether there was even any point in living. And I think that was why it led to a lot of suicidal thoughts. A person that really did help me was one of my closest friends in school. That she picked up the signs when I started taking out sharp objects from my pencil case, like cutting my left wrist lah. I think she noticed. Immediately she just took like the blades out of my hand, and she had this feeling that I might not go home. So she would call my house like every night to make sure I was at home.
Well, like I think subconsciously you know someone actually cares for you, someone's actually looking out for you. I think that makes all the difference. Like the one I said before, I think the reason why so many crew have depression is because they are by themselves in a foreign country. Like their family, their friends are not with them, and then not everyone is lucky enough to forge like friendships that are really as fulfilling as the ones you have back home, because it takes a while.
Ex-boyfriend like using me. Like we just broke up like 2 weeks, and then he just straight up told me like, oh, I'm seeing someone already. And he chose that moment where I was already very low to tell me. So it's like something just snapped. Like I said, I told him that I'm gonna kill myself, and he just walked out of the room. So I remember I brought my skipping rope to school, and I was looking for a place to hang myself. So I caught the rope around my neck and I just pulled. I was like so angry, and like everything was just like a haze. I saw my sister's name lit up on my phone. She was calling me. I couldn't bring myself to pick up the phone because I knew my voice would give me away. So I just texted her, I can't do this. Poured out everything to her, and she empathized lah.
My friend who is currently going through like her anxiety and depression, right? I always tell her like, text me if anything, like I don't care if it's like 3 a.m, you can find me, like just call me. She feels that she doesn't want to burden people. I think this is something that isn't maybe your feel, so like you cannot talk to anyone about it because you don't want to like burden them with your problems, right?
I feel that like it's even right a small act of like just being there for your friend, or like keep like trying to calm them down, like what you did, just so important.
Or like, because I study psychology, so it keeps looping back to like the whole making sure you have social support. Like it actually makes a huge difference. Yeah, you can feel like you have nothing, but the moment someone just shows you like that bit of care and concern and kindness, it will make a huge difference.
I think we can share a bit more about how you guys had support going through the recovery process, and maybe like how, for example, how you can help support someone who is in this situation.
You might think that the worst was when you wanted to kill yourself, but actually recovery is way tougher. It's like it took so long for my mom to understand what I was going through. She was very traditional. It's like, why are you sad? Don't need to be sad lah, just be happy lah. She just didn't understand. But thankfully my sister was more understanding. I was really so anxious that I couldn't even go to school, and I actually had my sister follow me to school, just like in primary school, and that slowly helped me get better. And my school was understanding enough in like letting me drop a module.
Strong social support definitely makes the road to recovery a lot easier. And I think importantly for yourself, right, surround yourself with people that give you a little bit more purpose to live, and I feel it's usually that purpose that would internally help you want to get better as well. So for friends, you have to try to understand that what your friend is going through, even though you cannot really fully empathize.
I think as a friend, one thing you have to constantly remind the person is that you believe in their feelings. What they are feeling is not fake, it's not pretend, or like it's not exaggeration.
For example, you might know that this person is going through this particular tough period of their life. Reach out to the person or say that today I saw you and I had this feeling that you might be having a rough day, so I hope it gets better. I think even these little affirmations, right, they help a lot. I want to share this about another friend I had in poly, and I thought that we drifted. Then just one fine day I remembered, right, I was really feeling quite down. And one day he just texted me, he said that, actually I just wanted to thank you for really talking to me at the start of poly. And he told me that like, I really treasure you as a friend, even though we don't talk as much, right? I really do appreciate our low maintenance friendship, and I hope that we can like catch up. It was really a surprise, like I really didn't expect it. But at the same time, knowing that if people that you might not be as close to anymore still care, right? The people who are actually very close to you, they care even more.
You know, if you do take your own life, right, you know how many people will be affected by it? Your parents, your friends, like me. Like I'll be so devastated. I told her like, I'll be so upset, like why, what's the point, that kind of thing. Like it's kind of like affecting so many people around you, and I like kind of made her snap out of it that this is not just something that you make on your own and it's not going to have any like consequences or like any kind of like outcome. You know, you can't run away from all your problems in that sense. So what are the reasons behind, you know, suicide for some people, and maybe like some signs that people, like friends can, or the audience can take to identify?
I didn't think I was anxious enough to have anxiety, so I just didn't seek help. Like I was just, it's just another bad day. Yeah.
Because as Asians, we are not very expressive with our feelings. You know, we're not like the Westerners who are a bit more, you know. So maybe they feel like this is not something that they can say. They want to keep it in them.
Maybe.
Also because maybe society views like happiness is a good thing. Like they don't want negativity, they don't want somebody who's sad, so they don't feel like it's something that they can really share, so they just keep it in.
I feel that maybe the signs, like spotting signs would be, I feel that when people have outbursts or like when they threaten suicide, right, it's really a cry for help. Most of the time it really is always a cry for help. Even if they say it jokingly, right, there's always a half-truth.
Yes, in every joke there is a half-truth.
There is a half-truth.
I've
like
mentioned
people,
this before on
yes.
ChickChats.
Yes.
Yeah. I was gonna say actually, like I think social media is one of the biggest things that may trigger all these
Because
like
you see
tendencies.
someone else like having a better life than you, but you don't really know if it's true because it's just how they show it.
Yeah, it's just a lie. People
Yeah.
only show the best parts, right? Who wants to show the ugly side of themselves?
Yeah. So moving on to the last question, right, would be like, where can people who are like suicidal go for help, seek for help? What can you do to give help to people who are in this situation?
From the friend's perspective lah, perhaps like as a friend, it's just one being a little bit more observant about people you read, like your closest friends as well as people that you know. It can even be like, you know, those kind of subtle Instagram posts, right, where you Instagram stories post where it's a black background
And then
the
the
words
one
are
word.
freaking tiny, like
Yeah.
they're really
You
tiny.
like just screenshot and zoom, okay?
Your friends can only help so much. So, and I think it takes a lot of like courage to approach professional help, because you keep feeling like, no lah, I'm not sad enough. I don't want to be dramatic. I don't want to make a big fuss out of it. Just do it. Like what's the worst that can happen? Like just better safe than sorry, you know.
I know a lot of times that people have come to me and tell me that like they go to counselor and no use because the person just made them feel worse about themselves.
If you feel like your counsellor is not suitable or your therapist is not suitable, just change. There's a lot out there.
Yeah. I think also it's understanding if you are in a position where you're like not sure, you like Jia you mentioned like, I'm not depressed enough, I'm not anxious enough, right? It's more of like you cannot come to terms with that, then you don't want to even like take medication for it because you don't want to be seen as like mental, like insane, because that's what happened with my friend, you see. Like she didn't want to see a counsellor, she didn't want to see someone professional for the longest time because she felt that like then she'll be like crazy.
Risk your life or your mental health over like social stigma is not worth it.
So
yeah.
Me, right, one of the biggest lifestyle changes I made, right, was playing competitive sports.
Yeah.
And I think like things that make you happy, right, generally help you a little bit more, or doing things that help you like express yourself. When back in school, right, I took this module that taught us like different types of therapy, and like it's not just about seeing a counsellor lah. Like even though that's what most people think it is, I once met someone who was an art therapist. So what she does is, right, she provides her clients with like a whole array of art materials, and they get to choose whatever they want to do, and they can draw whatever they want. Also, it gives them an outlet to release like whatever they're feeling.
So today we talk about suicide.
And our biggest takeaway is that the most important thing is to just really care for your friends and the people around you, show a little bit of concern and just not brush it off, because it's really not a thing that should be taken lightly.
So if you guys have any stories about this, feel free to share in the comments. Please be kind to people, and also let us know what else to talk about next time.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Bye!
Bye!